Good. Okay, so a research topic must be something that you are actually capable of undertaking. That's the first thing. It must be something that you are capable of undertaking. So it should be something that either excites you, your imagination, or you think that this is actually an interesting area that I would want to get more insight. Vanet, good, good. So apart from exciting, okay, it should be something that you feel comfortable with. Okay, it should be something that you are comfortable with. And having established that this actually area excites you, you are comfortable with, you now need to develop the skills that are required to research that topic. You need to develop skills that will be required to research the topic. The reason why I'm saying that you need to identify an area that you are interested in is because did you meet Niger? He's the one calling. Okay, yeah. The reason why I've said that you need to develop interest in whatever topic you are embarking on is because, research basically, it's a tall order. Okay, it's a tall order. Yeah, it's very involving. So you really need to find an area that excites you. It may be boring if you're doing something that is not exciting. So identify an area that is of very interest to you, then it will be fine with you. Because each time you want to give up, you say that, no, I need to do this thing. You get that? And like, oh, you know what? This topic was imposed on me by, yeah, someone else, yeah. So we're trying to avoid that. So apart from the issue of capability that I've raised, capability also means that you must be reasonably certain of gaining access to any data that you might need to collect. Capability also means you must be reasonably certain of gaining access to any data you might need to collect. Okay. Yes, I know that your area of interest is this one, but the big question is, will you be able to access data? Okay, let's say, for example, we've given you a chance to come up with a topic, okay, that you like. And then you decide to do a topic about, let's say, Malawi Defense Force operations, right? Do you think you'll be able to get the data? Yeah, you see now. So please make sure that whatever topic you are thinking about, think also about issue of access. Will I be given access? That kind of a thing. Okay, yeah. So certain sensitive topics such as financial performance, okay, or decision making by senior managers are potentially, yes, fascinating. However, they may actually present considerable access problems. So make sure that apart from choosing a topic that is of interest to you, think about issues of accessibility as well. Another thing that I would want to submit to you is the fact that your topic should be linked to a what? To a theory. Okay, your topic should be linked to a theory. Okay, we are continuing from where we stopped. Now we are actually discussing the research topic, how to come up with a research topic. Okay, yeah. So one of the things, okay, in summary, I should say, one of the things that should be at the back of our mind is that when you're actually coming up with a research topic, it should be that topic that excites you. Okay, it should be something that is of interest to you. The reason being that when we talk of research, it's a big project. Okay, it's a big project. So there are moments, truth be told, there are moments whereby you want to throw in the towel. There are times that you want to give up, but because if it's actually an area that excites you, you still hold on, and then you vow to what? You vow to finish. Unlike when it's something that has been imposed on you, okay, you may easily give up. Another thing is, much as we are saying that you should actually choose a topic that excites you, you should also think about the capacity. Okay, you look at yourself and then you say, can I actually manage to do this thing? Okay, look at the capability. Do you have that capability for you to actually conduct that research? Apart from the issue of capability, you also need to look at issue of access. Okay, research, we're talking about data here. Okay, so when you've come up with a topic, you should think, in fact, before coming up with a topic, you should think whether you're going to get access, okay, to the data or not. I was discussing with her, put it for example, you want to do research about, operations of MDF, Malawi Defense Force. Do you think it will be easy for you to get data? No, it won't be easy. Okay, so don't just get excited and come up with the topics for the sake of actually coming up with a topic. No, you also need to look at the issues of accessibility. Um, Otherwise, yes, we may give you a go ahead to do a research on something, but you may end up actually finding nothing or failing even to do the research because the people in authority can't actually give you access. So, as we're actually entering, we were actually discussing the fact that there is a need for your research topic to be linked to a theory. Okay, your research topic should be linked to a what? Should be linked to a theory. Yeah, it should be linked to a theory. And you also need to come up with clearly defined research questions and objectives. Remember, research it's actually an inquiry. So you need to actually come up with a clearly defined research questions and objectives. And these research questions and objectives, along with a good knowledge of the literature, will enable you to assess the extent to which your research is likely to provide fresh insights into the topic. However, you should ensure that your research idea has clear research questions and objectives. Good. Another thing that should be at the back of your mind is research appropriateness. Okay. By research appropriateness, what I'm trying to say is you need to ask yourself whether that kind of research is worthwhile. Is it worthwhile? Okay. Is it worth your time? Is it worth your resources? Will your research be meaningful when the results are out? Will it be meaningful? Does it have issues that have a clear link to theory? Hmm? Those are the things that you need to ask yourself. So I want to ask you, what are some of the techniques that you think rather you can use in order to select a topic? You've just been given task, like now you're supposed to come up with a research topic by Friday. What would be your techniques in order to come up with a research topic? Mm-hmm. 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 Any ideas as to how you can actually come up with a research topic? Okay, so when it comes to coming up with a research topic, you can use what is known as rational thinking, and creative thinking, okay, or a combination of the two, either rational or that is logic. You just use logic, or creative thinking. You just create as. Because rational, what is going to happen is it could be from an observation. It could be that you are reading some research papers and you've identified some gaps. Then you are coming in to fill in those gaps. Or you just, create, something from the blues. Yeah. So one of the things that you can actually do in order to generate a research, okay, from both the rational as well as creative, is by looking at what? Is by looking at research papers or thesis in your library. Mark at those that are of interest to you. Look at those papers, research papers rather. Okay. And then you identify the gaps. Yeah. Another thing that you can actually do is you look at the area that you've been excelling very well. So, kwa mfano, yeah, you guys, you've got a lot of courses that you've been doing. Okay. So focus on something that you've been doing good. Okay. Yeah. Focus on something that you've been doing good, that you've been enjoying. Another thing that you can actually do as you're thinking about your research topic is to think about your future. Okay, after 4 years, okay, what is it that you want to do by the end of the day? So depending on what you want to do, you can focus on that one, focus on that area. So that when you go for interviews, you should be able to say that I did this, I had an interest in this area, I did this, and I believe that if you take me, I'll be able to do X, Y, Z. Okay, yeah. So you look at the past papers, past research papers, you look at your past grades. Okay, yeah, we are always actually giving assignments here. Okay, so you look at those things, identify which areas you were good at, focus on those things, or you look into the future and then you say, I want to do this when I'm done. Okay, so I think I'll research in this area. Okay. Another thing that you can also do in order to come up with a research topic, you can actually discuss with your friends, you can discuss with your lecturers. To confirm it, yeah. And then you begin to refine your research ideas up until topic ibwere buno bwino. So the importance of defining research questions at the beginning of the research process cannot be overemphasized. One of the key criteria for your research success will be whether you have a set of clear conclusions drawn from the data that you have collected. The extent to which you can do that will be determined largely by the quality with which you have posed your initial research questions. So defining research questions, rather like generating research ideas, is not a straightforward matter. It is important that the question is sufficiently involved to generate the sort of project that is consistent with the standard expected of you. And just to give you an idea, descriptive questions are better. Okay. Yeah, they are better because you are able to get what? You are able to get more information. So it is better that you use the what instead of what? Instead of the why. The why people may lie. So much as I'm saying that there is a need for you to use the what questions or to take a descriptive approach as far as research is concerned, you are also discouraged to use questions that are too easy. You convert it? Yeah. Don't use questions, don't formulate questions that are too easy. No, don't do that. And don't come up with questions that are too sensitive as well. Don't come up with questions that are too sensitive. But, so right now, what I want us to do, I want you to identify an area that you're interested in. Okay. You identify an area that you're actually interested in. Then you need to come up with research questions. Then you need to come up, on the other hand, with research objectives. So, Vanet, I just want 4. Identify an area, come up with research questions, come up with research objectives. I'll give you an example, like an idea on use of internet banking. The research question could be, what effect has the growth of internet banking had upon the uses customers make of branch facilities? What effect has the growth of internet banking had upon the uses customers make of branch facilities? So yeah, internet banking. So what I want you is to, as I've said, come up with a research question as well as a research objective. It shouldn't be more than 20 minutes. Are you done? Okay. Okay. Yes, you can start. At where exactly? Yeah. Okay. Again, to what? What is that? Is that an objective? Why is it that I'm having problems with that one? I'm having problems with that one. Why? Access as an objective. Okay, what about accessibility? The first one I was fine with it, but this one, or they mhm. um okay. The third one, okay. Maona guys, okay. Why do you think why is it that objective number two is different from objective number one and objective number three in terms of structure? Because that is where I have a problem. It's about the structure. It's about the structure. An objective two. Da, 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 da. Hmm? Why? Mm-hmm. Can I have a look at that second objective? Yes. But number two, no. Can you rephrase it? Maybe I should say, should you rephrase it? Number two. Objective number two. Rephrase it. Rephrase it. Number three, fine. Mm-hmm. Bang and rephrase. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Rephrase it. You've cancelled it. Okay. So you're remaining with two objectives. Strange. Good. So guys, yeah, as you've actually seen, it is expected of you that when it comes to objectives, they're supposed to be specific. You can it? Yeah, they're supposed to be specific. Specific in the sense that it should be clear as to what exactly you want to achieve from undertaking the research. It should be specific. Okay, specific. Okay, yeah. Supposed to be specific. Another thing is they're supposed to be measurable. They're supposed to be measurable. The reason why they're supposed to be measurable is to enable you to gauge whether you've really achieved your objectives or not. Okay, you should be able to know whether you've achieved your objectives or not. They are supposed to be achievable. They're supposed to be achievable. realist. The research should be timely, timely in the sense that you should be able to accomplish all your objectives in the given one, in the given time frame. For example, if you actually doing a research on some phenomena that actually happen now, it will be useless if you release these results in the next 4 years. Not so. And let me emphasize that when you're actually coming up with the research questions and objectives, they should be linked to what? The theory. What's the answer? So when you're writing a research proposal, the first thing that you're supposed to have is the title, which may be changed as you continue working on the research paper, it may change. And you also need to have background or some quality introduction. You need to give away background information. And you should also show that this research is worthwhile doing. Okay. This research is worthwhile. You also need to show us your knowledge of the relevant literature in the background. And you also need to show a clear link between the previous work that has been done in your field of research interest and the content of your proposal. You need to show that in the background. You need to show a link, clear link for that matter, between your previous work that has been done in your field of research and the content of your proposal. So the background should lead smoothly into statement of your research questions and objectives. After you've given us the background, it should lead into research questions and objectives. And these two, okay, both the research objectives and questions, should leave the reader in no doubt as to precisely what is it that your research seeks to achieve. In other words, it's something very complicated. Should be simple. People should be able to say, okay, I think this is what they want to achieve. This is what is research. And make sure that your research questions and objectives will lead to observable outcomes. People should be able to recognize the outcomes. The outcomes should be observable. After that, we now look at method. So method is a section where you explain as to how you're going to collect and analyze your data. You explain how you're going to achieve your what? Your research objectives in this objective, in this method. So when it comes to research method, it's going to be divided into two parts.